Is it now safe to say that Gui Santos has been the brightest spot for the Warriors this season? He finishes with a career high, and the Golden State Warriors finally win 2 in a row for the first time since Jimmy Butler went down. Let's spread some positivity on today's show.
You are Locked On Warriors, your daily Golden State Warriors podcast.
What are they going to say now?
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everyone? Chuck Walter here, telling you that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. During the tournament, FanDuel's offering $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. On today's show, we got to get into the turnovers that are plaguing the Warriors. It was as bad as we have seen all season tonight against a defense that is not great by any means. We'll get into Kristaps Porzingis' play, how this game finished, as it was a clutch game. It was a thrilling win for the Warriors. They were able to get it done at the free throw line in the final minute, but we have to start with Gui Santos. Are you kidding me? He's been the brightest spot for the Warriors this season. In a year where really development has been all that matters, because the record is a one-way collision course for Portland. Whether that is as the 9 or as the 10, it's yet to be seen. How much it matters? Probably not, but that's what we're on a collision course for. So we are looking at individual development and who can be a realistic piece for this thing moving forward. And Gui Santos is just that. So much so to the Warriors locking him up to a 3-year extension just a few weeks back. And I'll never forget on a show, Kolsky and I were breaking down Gui Santos' game. I think it was in the summer. I honestly believe that the Kuminga saga had been going on for so long that facetiously, I was like, I mean, we could get into the Gui Santos deep dives if you want. And Kolsky laughed because it was kind of a joking matter at the time. Like, dead serious, joking matter. He was not expected to have any sort of a role on this year's team. And I remember saying when we were breaking down his game, because the summer went on so long, that eventually you have to get into some Pat Spencer talk and some Gui Santos, because they were lumped together as kind of the last players on the roster at the time. And I said verbatim, this is not someone who's ever going to give you 30. He'll give you energy, offensive boards, quality minutes, but 30 points, that ain't Gui. He's that Gui. He's that Gui, folks. I mean, it was Gui tonight. It'll likely be Gui again. I love the name Gui. 30 points for Gui Santos. Maybe the lone positive from this season. He went to taking 2 shots a game in like December, January. 2 shots per game. You go 1 of 2, 0 of 1, 2 for 6. And he took 16 today. Hit 11 of them in 35 minutes. Hit 4 of his 6 3-pointers. Got to the line 8 times. Did have 5 turnovers to only 1 assist. That is putrid. But Gui isn't the playmaking guy on this team. He's the scorer. He is truly their number one scoring option. Him, Brandon Podziemski, and Kristaps Porzingis right now. Sprinkle in DeAnthony Melton. It's truly those 4. Went from taking 2 shots a game to 16. He's cheap talent for next year, and we did not think that Gui Santos had this in him. If you did, you're lying. Actually, there may have been a few. Jim, who runs one of the other Warriors, hasn't he been clamoring for Gui for like 5 years? Guy knows ball. Remember when Steph and Jimmy, we were talking Steph and Jimmy, we wondered where like the buckets would come from. Like, if it's not going to be Kuminga, if Kuminga's out, where are they going to get some points? Gui usually had like a bucket in him tops, maybe 2 buckets in him. He was not someone you looked at. He had 11 buckets today. He's had 11 buckets, maybe not 11 on the dot, but double-figure buckets in a few games. He's shooting double-digit buckets every single game. He is a legit scoring option. Maybe not his role at full strength, but Steph and Jimmy are watching this. They're gaining more trust in their Gui, their Gui. And that trust may have not been there prior because they didn't get to see it. Like us, ball knowers on this podcast, maybe they were thinking Gui is someone that helps you win. He's an energy guy. He's connective tissue. He's a ball player. But Guy's not someone that you're going to put the ball in his hands and have him go to work and watch him hit stutter steps on you and hesitation moves and pull up J's and quick trigger threes. That wasn't Gui Santos's game. So maybe we found a guy. One of the biggest bright spots of this season. Is there a better takeaway from this year than what Gui Santos has done? I don't think so. Hold on now. Technology. Why do we have the standing O? It's because it's the first 2-game win streak since Jimmy Butler got hurt. Hard to believe that late January was the last time the Warriors had 2 straight wins. So hard to believe that I didn't believe it. I've been coming on here every single night and apparently maintaining enough positivity and not losing my mind to the point where I didn't realize it had been that grim. I knew it had been grim, but I didn't realize it had been that grim. Like the loss to the win over Miami, it was Charlotte and then Miami. And that was when Charlotte was reeling. They were terrible. Now Charlotte's like 10 games ahead of you. I mean, they're 4 or 5 games above 500. They've been one of the best teams in basketball. In fact, did the Hornets steal the Warriors' talent? The Monstars. They stole the talent from the NBA players. They beat Miami right after beating Charlotte. And since then, they have not won 2 straight games. Also kind of glossed over the fact that Jimmy got hurt against Miami. I didn't really realize that. His old team, right? The team that kind of let him walk. I did not realize that. But they finally get a win streak through the Warriors. It's against a bad team. Brooklyn had lost 18 of 20 and 8 in a row. And their roster tonight was duty, as the kids would say. Do you know anyone on this Nets roster? No Nolan Traore, no Yegor Yamon, no Michael Porter Jr., no Danny Wolf, no Noah Clowney. That, with all those guys as a roster, you still hope you're better than. And they were missing them all. It's not a defense that strikes fear. And for the second straight game, it's a subpar defense that does something they don't usually do, and that's turn their opposition over 26 times. The Warriors had 15 turnovers at halftime. 15. On pace for 30. They had 9 in the third quarter to finish with 24 entering the fourth, and it was just a couple in the fourth. That's why the Warriors were able to come back and win this game. And when I say come back, I mean they came back. They were not supposed to win this ball game with how they were playing, how they were throwing the ball away, and they did. We're going to talk about the ending of this game, Kristaps Porzingis and why he needs to get the ball more, some observations from Brandon Podziemski's game, both good and bad. We'll talk a little Moses Moody and also a feat that the Warriors fan base helped achieve tonight, a sellout streak. We'll tell you about all these things coming up on Locked On Warriors.
Who can stop Steph Curry?
Hopefully we'll never find out.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Robinhood. What if sports were traded like markets? Now you could put your sports IQ to work in real time with Robinhood prediction markets. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. You could buy or sell your positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood prediction markets changes the game. It's people moving the action. So when momentum shifts, you can move with it. I always knew the game, but never had a dynamic way to apply the knowledge. Now I can actually take part live in a market powered by people. You're no longer just a spectator. Play by play, you decide. Trade every play with Robinhood, now available across the U.S. Download the Robinhood app now to begin. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap form. Today's episode is also brought to you by our friends over at Quo, formerly known as OpenPhone. Spring is a natural reset point, and if there's one thing that quietly costs businesses money, it's messy communications, missed calls, scattered texts, no clear thread of who said what. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Q-U-O, the smarter way to run your business communications. It's the #1 rated business phone system on G2 with over 3,000 reviews. It's trusted by more than 90,000 businesses. Lets your entire team share one business number so you never miss a call, text, or an opportunity. Everything lives in one clean thread: calls, texts, and voicemails, and the AI summaries will do all the heavy lifting for you. Make this the season no opportunity and no customer slips away. Try Quo free. Get 20% off your first 6 months. Hit quo.com/LockedOnNBA. That's QUO.com/LockedOnNBA. Quo. No missed calls. No missed customers. Back to the show.
And most importantly, he a dog.
We need more dogs.
The turnovers have gotten to be so bad. And after the game, they asked Steve Kerr about those turnovers. In a game against a team that had lost 18 of 20 and 8 in a row, and with the Wizards beating the Jazz, a loss actually would have given Brooklyn sole possession of second place in the draft lottery standings. So this is a team that in all likelihood wanted to lose. Are you kidding me? And the Warriors turned it over 15 times in the first half. Steve Kerr talked about how proud he was of the team for the fight after the game and pointed to the long road trip and coming back home against a bad team that you're overlooking while you're already in a funk. You haven't won many games in forever. You haven't won a back-to-back since late January. And attributed to the turnovers today is lack of focus. Said in Atlanta, said against Boston and Detroit and other teams from that road trip, it was just the pressure. It was just the teams and the talent overwhelming the Warriors. In the last two, against Dallas with all the turnovers they had, and then on Wednesday night against the Brooklyn Nets, it was just about a lack of focus. And I treat it kind of like a sales quota to a certain degree. Now hear me out on this analogy. It's almost as good as the dogs running away on the beach in the tumbleweeds. A 9 seed's on the line right now. That's it. You're not getting the 7. You're not getting the 8. It's 9 or it's 10. You're going to have to win 2 in the play-in just to get a crack at the OKC Thunder, which is a great consolation, or which is a great reward for winning 2 games in consecutive nights, or 2 games in 3 nights, whatever it is. And the Warriors right now, it's 9 or it's 10. It's home or it's away. It's Portland. You're not really playing for much at this point, so it's hard to have focus on the line. I compare it to like a sales quota. If you worked at a company that was structured in a yearly goal, but quarterly bonuses, you're in quarter 3 or whatever, and you still have another quarter to make up your yearly goal. You've sold 5,000 units. You need to hit 10,000. And you need 2,000 units every quarter or whatever to receive a massive bonus. In this quarter, you know your clientele, you know your numbers, you know your opportunities of closing, and it's just not happening. There's no way in hell it's not happening. So you can get out there on the pavement. You could pound the pavement with your briefcase, and you can be a do-it-all. You could be a utility guy, a company man, or you can just say, screw this. I'm going to go down to Muscle Rock. I'm going to go down to a beach. I'm going to hit up the cafe and work on my side project. I'm going to hit up my anything and everything. I'm going to go venture around town. I'm going to watch Netflix. I'm going to do anything except basically go out and hit a quota that does me no good here. Doesn't matter, because I'll come out next quarter and it resets anyways. And you get what I'm trying to say in terms of the example. The Warriors have nothing to gain here by being fully focused. So naturally, as a human being, as a basketball player, you're not as focused and you do dumb things like they did today. But there were some bad ones. There was Podziemski. First possession of the second half, tried to thread the needle to Melton. Just an awful decision. Gui had some bad decisions. Draymond had some bad decisions. DeAnthony Melton has turned into a turnover machine the last couple of games. Kristaps Porzingis had a game-high 6 turnovers for Porzingis tonight. So many things that the Warriors have to clean up. How the game ended. We'll pick it up with Gary Payton late, because it's now 9 straight games where Gary Payton has hit double figures. That was not on your bingo card at the start of the season. In fact, in July, I would probably say, maybe it was June, when the reports initially came out that Gary Payton probably would not be retained by the Warriors, you didn't even think he was going to be on the team, let alone 9 straight games in double figures in late March. But he had the flush off Porzingis to tie it up. And it's funny that he and Porzingis are the only 2 lob threats on this team. 6'3", 7'2", no in between, right? Kuminga's gone. Al was not a lob threat. Draymond's not really a lob threat for the most part. Moody, not a lob threat. Podziemski, not one. Richard, not really. Gui, not really his game. Cryer, Spencer. Like on this team, I would stack them up at the bottom of the league. It's kind of a useless stat, but there are some people out there that love dunks, that love high-flying athletes and length. You're not getting it from this team. You're more so getting small guys and deep threes. Will Richards' first shot of the game gave the Warriors the lead, a 3-pointer. Then Draymond hits a big 3 late that ties it up. Gui throws up a wild shot. Kristaps was there to lay it in, but the Warriors won the final minute. They won the game in the final minute off getting to the charity stripe. Porzingis goes with the step back, and he does this quite often. He'll catch it free throw line extended, elbow, and instead of like a turn and shoot, utilizing his size then and there, because whoever's guarding him is not 7'2", so he's got the ability to just turn and shoot. He can catch and shoot. But he likes waiting. He kind of likes using some footwork. And then he likes that step back J. Loves that mid-range step back. And he got fouled this time. Free throws. Then Melton gets to the free throw line after attacking with 25 seconds left. He missed a layup in transition that was big late in the game that could have been a difference had the Warriors lost this one. And he redeems himself, getting to the line, knocking down 2 free throws, and then Draymond. The icing free throws before the Warriors get a steal, and the Nets never even have a chance to tie this thing up. But Warriors win it in the final minute at the free throw line. They did not win this because of protecting the basketball. They did not win this because of their 3-point shooting, 9 of 27, 33% from deep. They didn't win it because of their free throw shooting. Now, they did win it because they got to the line 36 times, but they only knocked down 78% of their attempts, 28 of them. But they got 12 more points at the line than Brooklyn. They out-rebounded the Nets by 16, although Brooklyn started hitting the offensive glass late to a certain degree. It was the Warriors who were the more imposing team. It was just the Warriors who were the better team today. And it's frankly a little bit scary that Brooklyn, with the skeleton crew they had, and an 8-30 team on the road, was able to take the Warriors down to the final minute, and the Warriors had to win the fourth quarter 32-20 just to steal one on their home floor against the Brooklyn Nets. More good news. Potentially 3 straight wins? Well, it's Washington up next, and Washington kind of stinks. We'll tell you about that matchup. Also, the streak that the Warriors made tonight. That's ahead on Locked on Dubs.
Forget that. We champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships.
All right, today's episode is brought to you by America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel. The tournament's here. It's one of the best times of the year. We got brackets, buzzer beaters, upsets. It's nonstop action from the tip to the final cutdown. And right now, FanDuel's giving new customers a way to stay in the action all tournament long. Here's the best part. You can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. That means 10 chances to stay involved throughout the entire tournament. Mix it up however you want. Game picks, futures, same game parlays for bigger potential payouts? Sure. Visit FanDuel.com to sign up today. It's perfect for the tournament because every day there's something new. Different matchups, new storylines, and more ways to get in as the bracket unfolds. That's FanDuel.com to get in on the action. Today's episode is also brought to you by Indeed. Workplace chaos, deadlines stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill is still sitting open. When the pressure's on, you need the right hire. This is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed, sponsored jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. Skills, experience, location. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's the stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Save some time and get $75 of a sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Tell them Locked on Warriors sent you. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Let's get back to the
And
show.
most importantly, he a dog.
We need more dogs.
All right, everyone. So the Everydayer Club, we've been telling you about it. I actually hopped into the Discord for the first time today, and just basically when Tom Hanks cast away, well said, I was like, is anyone in here? And I don't know if anyone's responded yet, but now is a good time to tell you about our Everydayer Club. If you love the show, if you love the Locked On Sports Podcast Network, get your first month of the Everydayer Club for free when you use code MARCH. You'll get unlock ad-free episodes, entry into our private listener group chat where I'm hanging out daily. Good perks. It's a way to support the show, and it ends up being like less than a coffee per month for the perks that you will get there, and we will continue to grow the Everydayer Club, get a little personalization, but I'm in that Discord, so hop in there. I'll be at Chase on Friday. The Warriors and the Washington Wizards. The Wizards get a huge win tonight over the Utah Jazz. That was not facetious at all. It was a massive win for Washington against a team that is actively trying to lose. But Washington is kind of dealing with what Brooklyn's dealing with. We'll maybe see Alex Sarr in the game, but they've been resting some guys here and there. In tonight's game, it was just Will Riley, Bilal Coulibaly, Bub Carrington, and aside from that, mainly a bunch of bench players that are on that team. We didn't really see, there was no Trae Young and many of their other players. So who knows what Washington's going to roll out. Who really cares? That's the thing right now. I mean, you want the 9 seed, you want to win that game, but it's hard to get up for a game against Washington. It's more just about supporting your team right now and hoping the Warriors win than the actual things that can come from wins. Although I will say, I'm sure there are plenty of Warriors fans that would love to see them play at home in the play-in instead of at Portland. But in the grand scheme of things, in the long-term picture of Golden State Warriors basketball, it really doesn't matter. These games at this point are about taking away some positives aside from just the scoreboard. And one positive is Porzingis' play. Just him taking the floor consistently is a positive for this team, with how kind of his tenure started and his lack of availability to begin. But he went 27 minutes again. How long did it take Anthony Melton to hit that 25-minute threshold? Porzingis is hitting it just about every night, it feels like. He had 17 points on 4 of 9 shooting, got to the line 10 times, hit 9 of them. He needs more touches. They need to run the offense through Kristaps Porzingis more. When I see 9 shots, less than Santos' 16, and Melton's 12, and Podziemski's 11. I just don't see how in 27 minutes Kristaps Porzingis can be your fourth option scoring the basketball. They scored 109, 32 late, but they had 50 in the first half. It wasn't an offensive clinic by any means, mainly because they were turning it over. The Warriors actually shot it pretty well from the floor, 53%, mainly inside the arc. But you got to start getting Kristaps Porzingis some more touches. I get that this is not an offense that has been run through a big often, but there were plenty of moments where you had to get the ball to Jimmy on the block or Jimmy in the post to where you know what's up with Kristaps Porzingis. And there were a few times today I saw like 5-6 on the shot clock, and whoever the ball handler was asking for pick and roll or for Porzingis to come up instead of spacing it. You know, find the proper spacing, get the entry pass into Porzingis, and let him go to work. Let him make a play. And to me, it just felt like 9 shots. A, blame Steve Kerr. He's got to scheme up more. But B, the guards on this team are looking for their own a little too much instead of getting the ball into Porzingis' hands. Or maybe you go with the wild card option here, which is, you got to credit the Brooklyn Nets. They played unbelievable defense on Kristaps to really make sure that he wasn't the one that beat them. And maybe that's the case. But it wasn't really Porzingis that beat you from the floor, but he was able to get to the charity stripe 10 times like Butler and give you a calming presence there, knocking down 9 of those 10 free throws. Brandon Podziemski, he's another guy we need to keep seeing good things from, and he had a good game. There was nice body control play where he had like a stop and start, sped it up very quickly, hung in the air, banked it off the window, and one. he had another and one where he got punched in the face. I don't know why Brandon Podziemski has turned into a human ragdoll and why he just consistently, for whatever reason, his nose is a magnet and he just continues to take blows. He was like that guy on the playground that got one of the family jewels all the time or took it to the nose or had a black eye. Just one of those dudes. And you could say, well, it's because he plays balls to the wall and he's taking charges and but he never gets hurt on any of those plays. It's always just random. Like that was a normal layup that he went up for. And I guess you could say it's because of the way he shields himself. And I don't know. Freak play there. But it seems like he gets hit in the face quite a bit. But we need to see him start stacking some good games. And I mentioned the possession that he had where he just tried to do too much. He forced in the melt and it was a bad decision. There was another play where he went in and tried to grab a rebound, and Gary Payton was clearly there. And you could tell Payton was kind of pissed. He looked at him like, dude, why is it that when everyone on our team is trying to grab a rebound, you're flying in? Like, you don't need to be a hero all the time and grab these boards, get back on defense. I've got this, man. I'm a small guy that can rebound too. We've seen it with Porzingis a few times, more so offensively with Porzingis when he's like, one more, man. Come on, I'm Kristaps Porzingis. Pass me the ball. And you saw it with the rebounding today. But overall, aside from that, there's not much negative about Pods' game today. Few turnovers, but he made up with it with 5 assists and had 22 points on 6 of 11, 6 of 4, got to the free throw line, hit all 8 of them, was a plus 19 in a 3-point game. So Brandon Podziemski, a good game, and he needs to stack good games on top of each other to prove that this is who he can be instead of just here and there. And we can always point to age as a factor and experience as a factor, but he's getting tons of experience. I mean, he is always available for how much he gets hit in the face. Went 35 minutes tonight, and you hope that he continues to get better. And if the Warriors do get a 7-game series against Oklahoma City, he can show up in that series and make you go into next year saying, all right, we got a little something here. Let's start talking extension. Or do we just let him go into restricted free agency? Whatever it may be. A 3-point shooting's awful. I'm not breaking any news there. It has not been great. There was a show this summer where I asked how good the Warriors' 3-point shooting could be. Everydayers remember this. I opened up the show and said, could the Warriors be the greatest 3-point shooting team of all time? No. And then hit the intro video. And it was slight rage baiting, but they did have a roster that was intriguing in terms of their shooting personnel. Bigs like Horford and Post, they can knock them down. Guards like Moody and Melton and Podziemski, and great shooters like Seth Curry and Buddy Hield and Steph Curry. And I thought to myself, maybe this is a really good 3-point shooting team, but obviously Buddy Hield is gone. He was sub 34% when he was here. Obviously, Seth Curry is out. He has not played more than 3 games. Obviously, Steph Curry is out. That plays a big part in this. And when you add in all these things and Al Horford's stretch abilities and Quentin Post not playing tonight, this is not a good shooting team right now. And they continue to shoot a lot of them, but they got to the line late when it mattered. Sellout streak. The Golden State Warriors have extended their franchise record, 600 consecutive sellouts. Extends a streak that started in December 18 of 2012 against the New Orleans Hornets. Old school. 2012. That was AD, Boogie Cousins, maybe a little, was Jeff Teague on that team? I don't know. 2012 Hornets. Since then, every single game has been sold out. I've always been impressed with Dub Nation, even on a night like tonight where it's a sleepy game, frankly. It's the Brooklyn Nets in a game that really means nothing, and the fan base still brought it. I remember being in Chase when the Niners were playing. The Warriors were playing the Cavs, I believe it was. Was it the Cavs? I think. And the Niners were playing, I think, the Rams in like the NFC Championship game, and that place was slammed. It was packed. The sellout streak's the 6th longest in NBA history, 2nd longest active streak. It's behind the Dallas Mavericks. Actually, it ended because of the Luka trade. The active streaks right now, Miami Heat are 79 games over the Warriors. They are the longest active. So 600 consecutive sellouts. They have a 427 and 172 record during that 600 game mark. That's impressive. And that mark included 54 consecutive regular home season wins from January 31st, 2015 to March 29th, 2016. Boy, that seems like, it was a decade ago. It was a long time ago, but boy, it seems like Draymond's still running down the floor, right? Steve Kerr's still on the sideline. It doesn't seem that long ago. But for a team that just won two games in a row for the first time in 2 months, 54 consecutive regular season home wins seems like a long time ago. Good Lord. All right. Gui Santos, congrats. Career high 31. Podziemski, 22. The Warriors had 5 players in double figures. They shot at 53% for the floor, and they got a win. Let's get 3 in a row. Washington Wizards, Friday night. Talk to you then.
Who can stop Steph Curry?
Hopefully, we'll
Wrong button. Who can stop Steph Curry? Hopefully not runner's knee. See you soon, Steph.